Teachers are pushing for lower entry points for universities, and they're predicting that the scores will be much less than they have been in years. Remember, the minimum grade entry for university is C+. I don't think everybody who gets a C+ actually gets into university because of issues like space. But Sankok, you had something to say about this.
Yes, first of all, the reporter did not tie a safety belt, so he's already breaking. anyway.
Hush. Quiet.
Quietly.
Quiet.
Yeah. So that Matiang'i does not hear.
Please.
Yes.
Kimani, I hope you've heard that. Like, you can't be riding on top of vehicles. It's very unsafe. It's very dangerous. Thank you for that.
what the teachers are pushing for and what they have seen now, I foresaw it 18 years ago when I was a student chairman. In fact, Honorable Priscilla was one of my electorate. They actually elected me in the University of Nairobi to be a student chairman. And that was the time when they were introducing parallel degree program. And I agree my point that the moment you introduce parallel degree program and the moment you introduce a situation whereby, a scenario whereby money plus probably a C will translate to an A, and then an A without money will translate to a C. You know, that was a scenario of commercialization of education. I told them, then all universities will be searching for customers because they must have customers. And the only way they will have customers is to make sure that every student sitting KCSE attains C+ and above, because there is where the customers are. And that is where the cartels now introduce leakages in our secondary schools. And that is why most students were getting C+ and above, because they had to get customers. When Matiang'i now came and made sure that there was no leakage in secondary school, then we went back to how many students were actually genuinely getting grade C plus and above. Yes, and that is a natural death of parallel degree program. But it have really taken our country for a long time. And that is why now everybody was going for a degree.
But there was also that push then that if you didn't get a degree, then you were not employable. I mean, and it seemed like a preserve of the few. And this was because polytechnics had, you know, for all intents and purposes, died.
Yeah, that's what I was coming to. Yeah. Actually, it is this parallel degree program that killed our polytechnic. Most of our teachers institutions, TTCs were turned into universities, MTCs were turned into university, Polytechnic, including the Kenya Polytechnic, was turned into a university so that they can offer degrees, and all those who are graduating wanted white-collar jobs. And that is why we are now importing even furnitures in a country with one of the largest water tower in the whole of Africa, is importing furnitures, is importing beds. You know, we lack plumbers, we lack carpenters, we lack electricians, and all those people. And that is why now we have gone back to TVET.
So you don't agree with the push for lower entry?
No, let the entry remain the same. Okay. Let those who are doing degrees, of course, all of us cannot be managers. There must be people to be managed. You know.
Yvonne, let me say this to support Dr. here. The issue about parallel degree programs is a really unfair thing. Because you know what they did? Those people who had C+ and B- and didn't have a B were being forced to go to self-sponsored programs because the students who had paid for 30,000 for an A were the ones getting into medicine, into those good courses. And the people who were affected in this case were people with disabilities. I had to literally write a paper when I was a student.
How so?
To write a paper.
How are they, because
affected? They were getting C+, but then they had to come as parallel degree self-sponsored students and B-, They were qualified, but because their spaces had already been taken up by those who paid through the system, you know, to change their grades, those 3 months, that Matiang'i asked, what were you doing with the results? And you can even see the KCPE this time around because of...
in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks we had it, and because of the machine technology, because of Joe Musheru. And I want to say this, that we must have a country that has integrity. These teachers also they had a way of beating the system. They get a C-, then eventually you have a master's, and because you come through P1 and what have you. We must get fewer people who have a degree, because that is a normal distribution curve. What is the need of having a degree? Then you just put it in the house. Where do you take it from? And then, even from where the people I employ in my office, the people I employ in my office, majority of them are actually diploma holders, and they do much better than degree holders. Today, you agree with me, people cannot even write good English, a properly written letter, because people are going for people. I have employed people who have gone to law school, Priscilla, and they cannot even argue themselves, their case, even when you are just trying to prosecute a small matter in the office, because people went for. So the brilliant people like Priscilla and others who really genuinely, you know, have gone through, you know, cannot get opportunity, because all these, you end up with quacks, the Mogo Irimos of this world, you know. So I think I want to say without fear of doubt that I support, Dr. what you're saying, and teachers must not be given lower varsity entry. Let it be C+, let them be few. If we need to, the economy does not require all those low education, managerial degrees. No.
It requires a workforce that can actually get things done.
Yvonne, I'm sure you've struggled with getting a good plumber. You have somebody doing something for you, or a carpenter, or a joiner, or mechanic. They are doing very shoddy jobs. That is where the money is. In fact, when you look at the kind of money these mechanics are making, you wonder why you want to go to university. Because there is more money in the economy for people who are doing the dirty work, you know. And Kenyans must be told, without fear of doubt, that they should not be shy about, you know, doing this kind of thing, so that they are not just sitting in nice offices.
And there's all of these other ways of getting there, like apprenticeships. Remember when that was a thing? You worked under a mechanic for years and gained the skill and the understanding.
And I paid the ultimate price, because when I opposed this issue, and those are the points that I was discussing, especially when it came to medical school, where then a student who had an A, a genuine A, was studying for 6 years and internship 1 year, that would be translated to 7. And then when a C+ come, who have money, then the years are lowered instead of increasing, because definitely that guy who can afford was in a very good school, had laboratories, had everything, and somebody who had a genuine A might have come from a day school without laboratories, without electricity, but managed. But he was studying for 6 years plus internship. Now it was, I paid the ultimate price. I was suspended for almost 2 years. It was only lucky enough that Kibaki came in, and you know, an enemy of your enemy, since I was suspended by the other system, an enemy of your enemy is your friend. So he became friend. And then again, God also did something marvelous. You know, Kibaki became disabled temporarily. Now when he became disabled temporarily, akasema, wapi ile kiweta alifukuzwa university, rudisheni.
But let me just quickly, before we leave that, is the idea around a merit-based education system. That's what we need. And I mean, personally, I'm proud of the education system. We still rank highly in Africa. We rank highly internationally. So there are things we are doing right. But then we have to relook at that system and the merit-based, but also inclusion. For persons with disability, we've seen that the inclusion is still not very good. The Higher Education Loans Board, does it, for example, have a quota for students with disability? Grants, for grants, for deaf students especially. It's come to the attention of the Commission that they are particularly not getting the loans that we deserve. Then the TVETs now, and the role of counties in polytechnics. Maura remembers that when we were in budget committee, we did try to vote some money directly for national polytechnics, or for county polytechnics. So that Amina, Ambassador Amina has a bit of work in just giving us an education system that is responsive, and now for us women, that does not expose our girls to pregnancies along, along the education system.